Hello, today we're going to focus on symmetry. In the example here, it says draw a line of symmetry on each letter. Now this line of symmetry will help us determine if this letter is symmetrical. Now when drawing the lines of symmetry, we can draw a horizontal, vertical, or diagonal line to find the line of symmetry. Your goal is to have an equal amount of the object on both sides of this line. So looking at the letter E here, I'll do this in yellow so we can easily see this line of symmetry. If I was to draw a vertical line right in the middle of E, I notice that I don't have the exact same amount on both sides. If I look to the left of this line and I look to the right of this line, I do not have the exact same amount on both sides. So this line of symmetry is not a good line of symmetry because there is not an equal amount on both sides of this line. So instead I can think of another way to draw this line that could make this work. Now, if I draw a horizontal line this time, right through E, I'm going to find that I do have an equal amount above and under this line. And if I was to draw the letter E on my paper and draw a line of symmetry exactly through E like I did on this screen and fold your paper so the crease is right on this line of symmetry, you're going to find that it goes on top of each other, both sides, both parts of E. And that's showing you that there's an equal amount on above and under this line. And by folding that piece of paper on the line of symmetry will help you determine that. If it goes on top of each other and there's the exact same amount, you're going to find that that line of symmetry is an accurate line of symmetry. Now looking at the letter W, I'm determining what way can I draw a line of symmetry. Should I draw horizontal, vertical, a diagonal, whatever way to show equal parts on both sides of the line. So I'm going to actually draw a vertical line right through W. And when I look to the left and I look to the right, I have exactly the same amount on both sides. So that's showing me that this line of symmetry is an excellent line of symmetry. I'm going to draw a vertical line here as well. And this is going to also tell me that this is an accurate line of symmetry. Now, a vertical line works for T as well, but notice, let's say if I'm like, let me try a horizontal line. I notice that this cannot work because notice there's a different amount above and under this line. So I'm going to erase this and I'm going to actually draw a vertical line again, just like the other two letters, to draw a line of symmetry right through T. Now notice this is going right through T, showing that there's an equal amount to the left and right of this line. In this next example, it's asking us which letter does not have a line of symmetry. And you're going to find that in some examples, the item given to you, whether it's a letter, a picture, a drawing, a figure, it might not be symmetrical. And that line of symmetry is going to help you determine if it is or is not symmetrical. So when I look at I notice I can draw a vertical line right through the center, and I'm seeing that to the left and the right is an equal amount. And same with W as well. But now if I do that for Z, I notice it doesn't work. So now I'm going to try a horizontal line. And I notice that doesn't work either because there's a different amount above and under it. And now if I go diagonal, and I fold right on that line, I'm going to find that doesn't work either. And if you want to prove this, I recommend you drawing the letter Z on a piece of paper and fold that letter in different directions to help you see this visually. And I noticed that there's no way I could draw a line of symmetry in the letter Z. So to answer this question, which letter does not have a line of symmetry, it would be letter Z. Now this one says which letter has more than one line of symmetry. So in fact, there is a letter here that there's a few different ways I can draw my line of symmetry. And you're going to find that in many figures there are many lines of symmetry, and that's okay. Now looking at A, right away I can identify that. Let me draw a vertical line this way. Looking at this figure and taking a closer look, there's no other way I could draw my line of symmetry. If I draw a horizontal line through this way, I'm going to find that doesn't work because there's not the same amount above and under. For the letter E, I'm going to also do a similar thing. I'm going to draw a horizontal line this time. But notice my vertical line, that won't work. Just a horizontal line is the only line of symmetry. Now going back to H, if I draw a vertical line right through H, there's an equal amount to the left and the right. But I can also draw a horizontal line. And I notice above and under this line is also an equal amount. Therefore, there are two lines of symmetry and that's absolutely fine that there's more than one. Example here, it says draw this shape, then draw a dotted line to show a line of symmetry. I encourage you to draw this shape on a piece of paper right now. You can pause this video. This is when line of symmetry and determining if objects are symmetrical gets really fun, when you get to be creative and can actually draw them out to determine and figure out where to draw your line of symmetry. So by looking here, I'm going to actually draw this dotted line right through the middle, because I noticed by doing a vertical line and by drawing a vertical line, I have an equal amounts to the left and the right of this dotted line, showing me that this dotted line is the line of symmetry. Now, if you draw this on your piece of paper, you might try drawing a line in other directions, or you can even fold your piece of paper to help you determine that. And you're going to find that no other direction works to show you an equal amount on the left and the right side. For here as well, it says draw this shape, then draw a dotted line to show a line of symmetry. I encourage you to pause this video and draw this figure on your piece of paper. Now, if I draw a dotted line, a vertical line, just like I did for the previous problem, I'm going to find that I don't get an equal amount on the left and the right side. But if I draw a horizontal line, I believe this will work. And notice here there is the same amount above and under this line. Therefore, this line of symmetry is a good identification and a good way to describe that this figure is symmetrical. And this is where it can get really fun. You can have any type of figure, any type of drawing you would like. And your goal here is to draw this shape, then draw a dotted line to show a line of symmetry. Now, if I drew a horizontal line here, I'm going to find that above I have eyes and under I have a mouth. That's not the same amount on both sides. Therefore, I'm going to try another way. Let me try a vertical line. And notice here, to the left of this vertical line, I see one eye, and to the right of this vertical line, I see one eye. To the left of this vertical line, I see a piece of my mouth, and to the right, I see another piece of my mouth. So therefore, this line of symmetry is a good way to describe that this figure is symmetrical. Your goal today is to identify the lines of symmetry. You will be given lines of symmetry through a figure, and you have to determine, is that a good representation or not a good representation of a line of symmetry. I encourage you to draw some of these figures on a piece of paper. It really helps to visually see this, to identify those lines of symmetry. You can fold your paper on those lines to help you see this even better. So I encourage you to do that today when you are completing the activities.